Get over here!
Welcome to The Know, I'm Ashley.
I'm Mica.
We've covered all kinds of kind of crazy, nutty technology and video game lawsuits on The Know, but this is a first, because Microsoft's being sued by a video game developer who claims that Team Xbox committed egregious and willful patent infringement to steal technology for use in its own games.
Oh, sure. And according to the lawsuit, those games include some pretty major titles like PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds port for Xbox One, and even some big-name Xbox exclusives like the recently released Sea of Thieves and the upcoming Crackdown 3.
Of course, it's always hard to tell in cases like these if we're dealing with some legitimate complaints or if it's a desperate attempt by a developer for a quick cash grab, because those do happen, and they're called patent trolls sometimes.
Yeah, but first let's get to the lawsuit itself, which was filed by video game developer Terminal Reality, who you probably forgot about because they made games like Nocturne, Blood Rain, Ghostbusters the video game, Connect Star Wars, and Walking Dead Survival Instinct, you know.
Big hits.
All those hits. The suit is brought in conjunction with another company called Infernal Technology.
Now, to understand the lawsuit, kind of important to understand the relationship between those two. Terminal Reality developed an engine called the Infernal Engine for use in its game. An engine which it later went on to license for use in other games. The company Infernal Technology has the exclusive right to license that engine now, which Terminal Reality granted them back in 2014.
Okay, so back to the lawsuit. It was filed earlier this month in a district court of East Texas, which is an infamous battleground for these types of patent cases. That's just because the judge there has a reputation for ruling against larger corporations in favor of what some would call patent trolls. In fact, that court, prior to some law changes passed down by the Supreme Court, used to see a quarter of all patent cases in the country because of how friendly they were to plaintiffs.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
To be fair, Terminal Reality is also located in East Texas, so that's a consideration. It's why they're allowed to file there despite the law changing last year. So, hey, it's on the up and up this time.
That's rare.
That's huge.
Yeah. So basically,
Progress.
Basically, the lawsuit alleges that Microsoft is violating a patent established first in the Infernal Engine or specific components of it related to lighting and shadows in like a lot of its games.
Every game has shadows.
Yeah.
A list of games in the 23-page lawsuit document includes Alan Wake, Crackdown, Crackdown 2, Crackdown 3, Dead Rising 3, Fable Legends, Forza Motorsport 6, Forza Motorsport 7, Gears of War 4, Halo 5 Guardians, Halo Reach, Ori and the Blind Forest, PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds, Quantum Break, Recore, Rise of the Tomb Raider, Rise, Son of Rome, yes, that one, Sea of Thieves, State of Decay, and Super Lucky's Tale.
Whew. Now you may be thinking, gee, that's a lot of games.
That's a lot of games.
And weird, because those don't even use the same engine. And you know what? You would be right on both counts.
Because when you did get a little bit more into the lawsuit, it seems like Terminal Reality is trying to get a little bit tricky with some of its definitions and who exactly is to blame for violating some of its patents.
The lawsuit outlines a whole host of accused game engines that violate its two patents, and really it sounds like they consider any game engine that can render lighting and shadows to be in violation, specifically calling out Unreal Engine 4, CryEngine 3, CryEngine 4, Alan Wake Engine, Renderware Engine, Forge Engine, Forza Tech Engine, Northlight Engine, Unity Engine, Foundation Engine, Halo 4 Engine, Halo 5 Guardians Engine, and Halo Reach Engine.
It's a lot of engines.
So many.
In some pretty strange mental gymnastics, they are claiming that because Microsoft publishes games using all those engines and puts them out on Xbox, Microsoft should be held accountable for breaking all of those patents.
Oh.
You know, not the companies who they think violated those patents in the first place.
Sound logic. Part of the basis for some of this and why they're going after Microsoft in particular is that apparently Microsoft tried to file for a similar patent back in 2007.
Who patents shadows?
Those shadows are mine, you cannot use them. As the lawsuit points out, that got wholly rejected because of the patents already owned by Terminal Reality and Infernal Technology.
Busted? Okay, well, probably not, but it is another leg for them to stand on in the case. See, Microsoft already proved they wanted our technology, so of course they stole it. That kind of thing. Unfortunately for Microsoft, it does establish the company knew about the patents, so any actual infringement means they would have done so knowingly.
As a result of this infringement, Terminal Reality claims that it has been irreparably harmed by Microsoft.
Yes, it was definitely the use of shadows that harmed the studio. It was definitely not Connect Star Wars.
Not at all. But of course, they'll settle for, a lot of royalties, with interest of all of those games and engines that they've already named. That'll do, just to ease the pain.
Yeah, fine. Of course, the big question here is whether or not this lawsuit has any actual chance of making it all the way to court, and whether or not that court will rule in Microsoft or Terminal Reality's favor. And on that front, it's actually kind of harder to tell.
Yeah, as we've already noted, the specific court where this was filed has a notorious reputation for being on the side of patent trolls, which is not great news for Team Xbox.
Yeah, it's so friendly to patent trolls, or has been in the past. Last year, the Supreme Court had to overturn provisions that allowed people to file patent cases in any market where their products are sold. Now they have a lot more limitations, but unfortunately for Microsoft, that's where terminal reality and infernal technology happen to be located, so that doesn't work for them.
Yeah, oops. And double unfortunately for Microsoft, the two companies have some prior legal precedent surrounding their patent on their side already.
That is also a problem,
Yeah,
yes.
they already tried to sue EA for these same patents back in 2015 with a reasonable amount of success. That led to EA challenging the patentability of the actual patents in question, and those challenges were thrown out and EA settled quietly with terminal reality last year.
Oh, so there's a precedent.
Yeah.
That means history could repeat itself all over again, this time with a bigger fish in the form of Microsoft. Just the same though, patenting shadows?
Don't touch their shadows, guys!
Have we gone too far?
I'm patenting lights next. That's mine. Don't touch it.
Can't use them.
Nope. So what do you guys think of Microsoft getting sued for patent infringement in, like, you know, every game that exists on the Xbox ever? Let us know in the comments.
And for future updates on all things Xbox and wacky lawsuits and everything that happens there, remember to like this video, and if you're new around here, subscribe to the know.
Turn off all your lights. I'm patenting them. You can't use them anymore.
You gotta be in the dark, but you can't, because then you have to pay terminal reality.
Yeah, shit. Everyone's fucked on this one.
Do happen, and they're called patent trolls sometimes.
Yeah, but first, let's get to the lawsuit itself, which was filed by video game developer Terminal Realty. Ooh,
Reality.
That's what I meant.